All right, this is Keith and Karl back again for night two of the kickoff to the election 2020. We have a second Democratic debate tonight and 10 more candidates on the stage. Basically the same format, basically the same set of topics. If you'd put bags over everybody's heads, you would have had a lot of the same kind of stuff going on, a lot of the same. We went over and over, and so there were some similarities with last night and tonight. We had this healthcare as a right. I think every one of them were forced to come to the stage and make this profession. This is a lie. This healthcare is not a right. If you take that to the nth degree, what it turns into is a call for slavery, and what that means is that we have a shortage of doctors already. But if they're saying that this is a human right and that it's a basic human right, then you're saying that whether we have a shortage of doctors or not, they have to work overtime, they have to work double time, triple time, whatever, to do the bidding of the government in order to do this. So basically, I guess we're going to chain the doctors to their post and require that they do the work at rates that doctors are unwilling to do. That's a stupid idea. I just want to make sure we covered that. We didn't do it well enough last night. What else do we have tonight?
Okay. I think it's Bernie Sanders got the first question, and he got the last question. Closing statement.
No, Biden officially had.
I'm sorry, my
yeah,
bad.
It was just slightly off. I think that your point you're making, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, is that NBC is without a doubt trying to put their thumb on the scale.
This was a rigged debate.
Yeah. Well, last night was too.
No, but this was rigged to a much greater extent.
I don't know. Last night it was the Lizzie Warren show, and they were going to clap for her no matter what. She'd say Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, and everyone would clap and cheer, and she would talk over, and they would give her extra time. We saw some of that tonight as well.
We saw a tremendous amount of that tonight. The elephant in the room is Kamala Harris. She got hours and hours of extra time tonight.
She's evidently some kind of magic. I don't even want to say. She has the magic touch that none of them are allowed to cut her off. Nobody is permitted to give her the rules. She's not playing by the same rules as anybody else that was on that stage tonight. Anybody else who would go over, they'd immediately begin with a senator, or representative, and they would break in immediately. Kamala Harris, she was given free reign to do whatever she wanted tonight. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely free reign. And speaking of the guys who did not get free reign, Andrew Yang and the spiritual guru on the far left, Williamson.
Yeah, I don't even know much about her. What the heck is she?
I don't know, and I don't think anyone's going to care because
she's going to forget about after tonight.
NBC gave them about 3 chances to talk each, just enough to say that they talked and get them out. They clearly were trying to get rid of them.
Well, I kind of agree, because if they didn't spout the same socialist garbage that you saw across the board from all the other candidates, they weren't going to give them any time. And so you have, as you said, Andrew Yang, who has a bizarre idea that we're going to hand everybody $1,000 a piece, and what do you call them? This freedom lunch bags or something, whatever it was.
Freedom dividend.
I'll take your word for it. But he threw that out there. He had a couple other ideas that were, again, not in the normal course of the Democrat playbook.
He's one of the more unique candidates on the stage.
Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing what he was going to say. I still think they're stupid ideas, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I'd like to vet them out, but he wasn't even given the chance.
They didn't give him the chance, and when he did get the chance to talk, he did not perform well. Until I would say his closing statement was decent, but before that, he didn't really make good use of the time he did get, which was about 15 or 20 seconds.
Yeah, they were cutting him off, very quickly, and obviously he wasn't jumping in like the others. And then this guru on the end with her crazy, the closing statement was bizarre. I
didn't think any of the stuff she said tonight was fully coherent.
No, she started with some crackpot conspiracy theory the first time that she got to talk. Again, I was saying this woman belongs in an asylum. I'm not kidding. That she was really that bad. She was that detached, and she gets to the end, and she's talking about the field of love and what Donald Trump. I'll meet you. Looking into it was weird. It was bizarre. It was strange.
I feel bad for her because in general I like the idea. The Bible talks about love, but this woman is going to get trolled by Donald Trump. And I would feel bad for her facing him because she would get ruined.
Well, the reality is there's 25 candidates who have actually declared. So there are 5 people who didn't make the stage tonight. And to think that they put this woman in place of somebody who might have had a reasonable idea. This was a crazy lady. I don't know why she was on there.
I don't know either, but I don't think she'll be there for the next one.
I doubt she will. I doubt she will.
Now, for the other large elephant in the room, Joe Biden. I was shocked at how horrible of a night he had, especially in comparison to Kamala Harris.
I think that's probably the part that's going to stand out to everybody is Joe Biden came in looking to play rope-a-dope Muhammad Ali and avoid getting knocked out by anybody, and he thought that they were going to treat him with kid gloves and they were going to just wander through the evening and he'd walk out with his 20-point advantage, and he ran into a buzzsaw tonight.
He did. He got hammered over and over again, and his only comeback was, well, I was with the Obama administration, which a lot of times didn't help him out that much.
No, you're correct. That's what was hurting him, is that the things that he had actually done, his actual record was being used against him, and I think he was shocked. You could see the look on his face that Biden was not prepared to have NBC attacking him as well as the other people on the stage. And especially in that one Harris where they put the split screen of them both on there, she was crushing him. She was landing severe blows, haymakers, and he was on the he was on the mat. There was no doubt about that.
It was absolutely he would have been down for the count if this is a real fight.
I think that's the case. Then they got up. Hey, let's let Biden talk again, and he was in post holes. I did a lot of good things, and I've been places and I've done stuff. It was incoherent. Obviously, she had landed her blows. Strangely, it looks to me like NBC, at the very least, has decided Lizzie Warren, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris. Those are their racehorses. They're not happy with Joe Biden being the number one.
And I'm a lot more inexperienced than you are, but I'm going to have to say Kamala Harris is one because last night and tonight we've noticed Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders were very one-dimensional. Their only comeback was to go back to healthcare or the economy, the evil 1%. Kamala Harris was striking blows on every single issue tonight.
Well,
she
made I feel like what she
input
did
in on them at least.
I think she made a good whoever coached her did pretty well. She was making a personal contact with each one of her comments, and that served her pretty well throughout the night. I find her to be a dangerous candidate because her solution to almost everything was, I'm going to do an executive order. I don't care what's going to. I'll do an executive order on this. I'll change the border. I'll change the laws. I'm changing voting. Evidently, she has no respect for legislator, no respect for the judiciary. She's just going to do it all herself. She sees herself as a tyrant. I think she was one of the more dangerous candidates we've seen in a while.
Dangerous in terms of policies, but in terms of, I would say, electability. She had the emotional appeal tonight. She looked very good on that stage, and she was fearless. Joe Biden...
She spooks the heck out of me. I mean, if
you
just
find took him on,
she did.
And
from a debate standpoint,
blow.
she did. She from a debate standpoint solely, she scored a lot of points. The stuff that she was saying, as far as I was concerned, I'm chasing pharma and I've prosecuted this and I'm opening the border to that. Yeah. Her policies are all tyrannical, and so again, I find her a dangerous candidate. Obviously, nobody's going to challenge her. That nobody on that stage wanted to talk her down. When she would start to talk, everyone on the stage would back off, and you could see that because she holds this category of, I am the minority woman candidate, and you can't tell me anything, and anyone who does is a racist, bigot, chauvinist pig. Go down the line. That's what you're going to get out of it.
She pretty clearly became the front runner tonight and held that.
I'd be surprised if she doesn't leap up in the polls.
I would be shocked if she did not. One really interesting, I don't want to say conspiracy we came up with was, at least I think Eric Swalwell has the word spoiler written all over him. He did nothing tonight but land a few key blows on Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Pete Buttigieg. But not Kamala Harris.
I agree. Again, he's going to play a spoiler, and he's going to be a hired gun to take somebody out at a later date. You could probably say the same for Hickenlooper, forgettable. Bennett, forgettable. Gillibrand, shrieking. I'm trying to remember who else was on the stage there tonight. It's those three: Bernie, Kamala, Lizzie Warren. Those seem to be again. They're going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not going to work together to get rid of Biden, and then it's going to be a race to the left to see who can give away more stuff. Again, they never explain how they're going to pay for any of this stuff, and the moderators never jump in to ask that kind of question. So it's
except in terms of Andrew Yang, who they did because they're trying to get rid of him.
They did. He was the only one they ever challenged, and the guy gets 20 seconds, and they're like, that won't work. That's a crazy idea. And the rest of them, they all said open borders. We're going to have a health care plan that covers everybody, basically everybody on the globe.
Yes, they want completely open borders. They want to decriminalize the act of crossing the border, which means no border. Anyone can cross this border and milk us for health care.
Yeah. Anyway, that's typical of Democrats. It's typical of today's Democrat anyway. They've become the Socialist Party. They are racing to the left. I don't see that a formula for success in heading into a general election in any form or fashion.
I sure hope not, because if it is, we're doomed.
We might be doomed anyway. Anyway, that covers our
response.
Yeah, response to the debate tonight. Thanks for joining us.